I went to camp more optimistic than I left it. I left camp
regarding Trent.
Much more pessimistic regarding Trent's ultimate return. And then D. Hall went on record yesterday. I don't know if he was on Grant and Danny's show or he just did an interview where he said he talked to Trent. Did you see the quotes? Mm-mm. And he said something to the effect of his basic position is you got to get the training staff out of there or he ain't coming back. It's not about money. If that's the case,
that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
They're going to fire an entire training staff.
He's put himself in a position where he can't win that argument. They're not going to blow out the entire training staff for any one player. It's not going to happen. So if he is adamant about that, he will not play for this team. If that's accurate. And D. Hall said he spoke to him.
I don't know what these players are thinking.
They think they're just going to fire 10, 12, 15 guys?
You may have a legitimate dispute
not going to do it.
About a diagnosis. I don't know enough about it. He feels like there was a misdiagnosis. He had to have surgery. And I guess he's pinning it all on the Redskins staff. But this is what makes no sense. He's already walked away from $250,000, right? Where he just had to show up and work out, and he would have gotten a $250,000 bonus. Yeah. Think about that. $250,000 simply if you work out at the Redskins facility. Instead, he wanted to do his own thing. Just do your own thing. Could you imagine? You'd like to work out at home. You have a home gym. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes you work out downstairs here.
Yep.
Imagine if they said, you know what, EB? We'll give you $250,000 if you work out at Entercom's facility, which, let's make it a pain in the ass, is just Baltimore. But you just have to do that for a couple of weeks. You'd be driving your ass to Baltimore.
Or if they said I had to do show prep.
Right.
You're damn right. I'd do some amazing show prep. I'd have 65 EP
to me,
stories
and I know
day.
He wasn't the only guy. I think it was 4 or 5 guys that walked away from bonuses, different values, like some guys.
Ranging from $50 to $250K.
Right, some of the guys was much less than the $250,000, $50,000. So to me, he has no sense just there. And then this whole thing.
There's not. Let me just say
the only thing I'll say is if he does show up the day before the season starts, I think he still gets all 17 checks, like the 17 weeks, including the bye week, right?
Sure.
So I'd say, okay, well, he's not dumb. He's showing up the day before. He might not play in the first game if he comes back like the Saturday before the first game.
I don't see it.
I've said all along, and maybe it's going to be even worse. I see him coming back in a week 3 situation where he holds out. He realizes that it's not going anywhere.
No, he'll just wait for them to trade him.
And then he realizes, look, what am I doing walking away from all this money? Because in 2 weeks, if you're Trent Williams, in 2 weeks, you'd be basically giving up $2 million.
Yeah, I think he's. It sounds like it's a more principled position. D. Hall said it is not, even though he's got 11 cars and he's got a couple homes and God only knows what kind of financial obligations he's got, that it is not about money for him. Yeah. He doesn't feel like he needs money right now. Well, so he may need it, but he doesn't feel like he needs it. So for him, this is not about money. And I'm telling you, there's not a player in the NFL. Tom Brady couldn't get the training staff fired at New England. This is not going to happen.
I wouldn't think so.
They're not going to blow out. How many guys do you think are on the training staff? 10, 12? 15? I mean, they're not going to blow all those guys out. It's simply not happening. So I don't see him coming back. And I believe D. Hall. I don't think he's coming. D. Hall didn't say he's not coming back, but he said that Trent's position is if they don't get rid of the training staff, he's not coming back.
See, I think the position can change
if they give him more money.
Yeah, not to say give him more money. If he feels the pain, if he feels the pain of losing money, he loses money each week once the regular season starts.
Except
and when the regular season starts, if he starts losing money, here's the thing about the 11 cars. These NFL players make $15 million. 11 $100,000 cars, and that's not much of a dent into how much he makes. I don't know the rest of his life, and nobody really does run out his pocket. So if he's wise, you can buy 11 cars, you can have 2 homes, you can pay cash for all of them, have no payments, and still have a ton of money left over.
Exactly. And that's why I think money may not be as big a factor as you think. Because these guys gotten to the point where these guys have made so much money, some of them.
But the indicator about the 11 cars is that generally is a sign for guys that aren't wise with their money. And generally, the guys who have 11 cars end up in situations like Adrian Peterson, who shouldn't be busto.
But those guys often don't see it. Yeah. They don't see it coming, right? So I'm telling you, I'm pretty pessimistic about Trent Williams. Trent D. Hall is saying here, they're not going to fire the training staff, and I don't see him just say. And by the way, I also don't think they're just going to local guys that cover this team. Nobody seems to be of the mindset that the Redskins are willing at this point to extend him and give him a bunch of extra money. They might be willing to guarantee some of that money that's due him next year, but that's not really new money. He's not going to get a pile of money thrown at him. They might guarantee some.
All right,
I'm telling you.
So let's say Trent doesn't play for the Redskins this year.
Yeah.
Let's say they end up trading him for a third-round pick.
Right, which is a net loss.
Is it a disaster? Is it a disaster for this year's Redskins team? I know none of us has great expectations for them, but I'm sure Jay Gruden and Bruce Allen and Dan Snyder, they have some expectations that this team's going to compete for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Is it disaster? Is it recoverable? Can they win without Trent Williams?
I think they can win what I thought they were going to win anyway. I think they can win 6 or 7 games.
Right, but that's not enough.
That's what I thought they had with them.
Right.
So it doesn't really
I agree with you there.
Doesn't really change my overall outlook. I think they're probably a 6 or 7 win team, barring things really, really going well and just really being surprised by maybe the quarterback play. Maybe AP has another sort of Geis is really a key contributor. But you need guys up front for that to happen.